Hey everybody, Elida Zweidler-McKay here with Engaging Leadership, where we're all about helping you become a really engaging leader for the people who are on your teams and work with you, and also engage the leadership in your organization so that you can find ways to move up. And not just in your organization, but also in your network. So today I want to talk to you about why most management training and career transition kind of programs don't really work very well. So whether you are in some kind of career transition, wanting to look for your next job, or you're in a management role and you're wanting some training that would help you be more effective as a leader, or learn how to move up in your own organization, there are about 1 million programs out there. There are online courses, there are live trainings being conducted these days over Zoom, but back in the day, face to face. There are certainly, shelves and shelves and shelves worth of books that give you advice on these topics. But what I found from talking to clients and talking to potential clients and just watching them play out for people is that these programs simply do not work. So I wanted to talk to you today about why that is, to give you some ideas that you can use when you're looking for your next growth plan, your next growth opportunity. So I think one of the biggest reasons that the kind of training programs that we're talking about here don't really work is that most of them do not include sufficient coaching. So, they'll have really good information, really good exercises, but you are left kind of alone to figure out, how do you apply those to your situation? What is that really going to look like on the ground? How do you really make it work? And there's no one there to answer those kinds of questions or really guide you through it. So you have to kind of take what they've taught you and then go apply it on your own. And I'll tell you, that application is the tricky part. Like, that's where it really comes to life, whether you deeply understand the material or not, whether you really know how you can connect the dots to what your current situation is. The other problem is that there's no one there really to make sure you're getting the value out of it. So you go through the training or you go through the program and you come out the other side and that's it. They've delivered the value as far as they're concerned. So whether it really makes a difference in your life or really makes a difference in your career isn't really their problem. It's on you to figure that out, again, kind of by yourself. And so, and related to that, there's no one there to keep you on track. So there's no one asking you about your progress, asking you about your wins, making sure that you're really going step by step through what you need to go through to get the learning and to get the value. So I think, what I see with most people is they go through some kind of leadership program or online program about learning how to take your career to the next level or how to find that next job. And they end up sort of going through it, but then there's no one to help them apply it. So they either kind of stumble around with trying to apply it, or they give up somewhere along the way, again, because there's nobody there really holding their feet to the fire and supporting them through it. And so the whole thing ends up being kind of a waste of time and a waste of money. Now, luckily, a lot of those things don't cost very much, so you're not throwing a whole lot away. But if you do several of those programs, just hoping that the next one is going to get you where you want to go, it can really add up. Now, the other problem that I think is really important to point out with those kinds of programs is that they are relatively generic. They're kind of one size fits all. And, that's not a problem. Like, I know people who are creating these programs are doing their best. They're trying to add a lot of value. They're trying to really make the program apply for people. But the reality is, when you're creating an online program or you're creating a management training class, or you're creating some kind of career transition program, it's going to be necessarily simplified, right? So as the author or the trainer, the developer of that kind of program, you have to be able to boil it down to a simple 3-step plan or 5-step plan or 7-step plan or whatever it is, so that you can get the ideas across. And then the way you design that plan, the way you design those modules, is going to go to the lowest common denominator. So it's not going to apply specifically. There might be examples, but there's not going to be something that really tells you how to apply it in this situation or that situation or this other situation. So it's sort of necessarily simplified to be able to be delivered the way it's being delivered. And real life just doesn't work that way, right? I mean, real life is complicated and messy and sticky. It's got all these nuances to it. The personalities are always different. The scenarios are always different. So again, you work from this great set of ideas, but you go to apply them to your situation and it just doesn't quite work, or it just doesn't quite fit, or you just feel like you don't yet have quite everything you need to apply it. So maybe you don't even try. And then again, it sits on the shelf and it doesn't really solve your problem. And there you are left feeling stuck or feeling like you haven't gotten your money's worth and you haven't gotten the value out of it. But all of that being said, I think the number one reason that most management training or career transition programs don't work is that they don't get to the heart of the problem. They don't get to the heart of what's really going on for you that has you feeling stuck. One of the things that we know is that underneath any strategy that we try to apply in our lives, whether that's, in our health or in our fitness or in our careers, there's the strategy component, and then there's the mindset piece. There's the set of beliefs, the stories we have about ourselves, the definitions we have of who we are as a person, what we value, what's important to us. All those beliefs really come into play. And you see this at an organizational level. So Peter Drucker had this famous saying that culture eats strategy for lunch. And what that means is that at an organizational level, the values, the beliefs, the ways people interact with one another, the overall culture of a company will overwhelm any strategy that the leaders try to put in place if that strategy isn't aligned to the culture. And the same thing happens at an individual level. So both organizations and individuals are systems. And if we look at a system, all those beliefs and views of the world and ways of looking at the problem and what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the people around us is going to have an impact on how effective any given strategy is. So the real challenge, I think, with the management training programs or with online career programs or even self-help books is that none of them really truly get to the heart of that for you. What are your beliefs? What are your values? What is getting in the, what's helping you, but also what's getting in the way of you actually applying the kinds of things that you're learning or, trying something in a new way. And that's why I think the most important thing that you can do for transformation is to find something that blends the strategy approach with that underlying culture piece for you personally. So when you're looking for real transformation, you're looking to really get unstuck and break some patterns that have been holding you back, or to really take your career to the next level, really take up your leadership in a new way, really find that next role that's not going to be just a repeat of the bad experiences you've had in prior roles. What you need to be looking for is something that's going to really give you that simple 3 to 5 step approach. So you've got a clear strategy and you know what you're going after and you know what the steps are, but also some real coaching and hand-holding that gets to the heart of what's getting in the way for you, that uncovers all the stories and all the history and all the bad feelings and all the experiences that play over and over and over in your head that keep taking you back to that same scenario, that same situation, that same way of working, so that you can really set those aside and take the steps that are going to get you into a new reality, a reality where you feel excited to go to work, where you feel like you're making a contribution, where you feel like your work is valued, whether that's at the company you're currently at or somewhere else. So when you're looking for a real transformation in your career, I strongly recommend that you find some kind of program that's going to be a blend of the strategy work and the mindset work, a blend of some kind of training that gives you a real step-by-step approach with some coaching that's going to help you apply it, help you look at how it fits in your situation, help you get to the nuances and the complexities, and get to all that underlying stuff that will otherwise get in the way of you really applying it. If you'd like to know more about that, or you're curious about how a program like that might fit with your experience, you want to really dig in and see how you could get to the next level in your career, book a call with me and let's talk about it. You can do that at zmcoach.com/call. And what happens is we'll get on the phone for 45 minutes to an hour and we'll look at your current situation. We'll understand what's happening in your career right now. Where are you? Where are you stuck? What's getting in the way? And where do you want to go? And if I can help you get from here to there, we'll talk about what that would look like. And if not, that's okay too. The main goal for me is that you walk away from that call with some real clarity about what your next steps are. So feel free to book a call with me, zmcoach.net/call, and let's talk about what it's going to take for you to move forward get out of unstuck, get out of overwhelm, and take your career to the next level. I look forward to talking to you.